In this video, I'm gonna show you the exact step-by-step process you can steal to land dates on Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, and every other dating app. If you don't know who I am, my name's Hunter. I started WingMan Plus because, like you, I struggled with online dating. But rather than giving up like most guys do, I spent 7 years of trial and error mastering the art of online riz. Right now I'm sitting on over 10,000 likes on Tinder and thousands of matches across Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge. And I've helped thousands of men do the exact same thing. And I started this channel because it's my mission to help you avoid all the trial and error and BS that I went through. So if you want to level up quick and know exactly how to crush it in online dating, make sure you pound that like button and subscribe to the channel. This video is going to introduce you to some concepts that might challenge the way that you view online dating right now. Maybe you're frustrated from trying to figure it out and you think, look, dating apps don't work for guys like me. And it's a perfectly natural way to feel. But I can confidently say dating apps will work for you, bro. I've coached over 1,000 men and helped them crush it in online dating. And I'm pumped to see you crush it next. So let's get into it. So dating is a lot like sales. And if you worked in sales before, this is really gonna resonate with you. But if you haven't worked in sales, that's okay. Just bear with me for a moment. A lot of people look at sales like a sleazy used car salesman trying to push something on someone who doesn't want the product. That couldn't be further from the truth. Sales is just taking a good product, marketing it properly to create awareness, creating conversations with prospects, and escalating them through a decision-making framework and making them feel like they're the one making the decision. The best salespeople on the planet never even have to pitch their product. They just ask their prospect relevant questions and prescribe a solution that fits exactly what they're looking for. And dating is very, very similar. But the first step of selling any product is to actually have a good product to sell. Because if your product sucks, you're never gonna have the motivation to actually ask someone for their money from that, unless you're a sociopath. And if you are, don't watch my videos. I don't wanna help you out. So on dating apps, you are the product. You're trying to market yourself to women, which means if you yourself are not a great product, it's gonna be very difficult to get women to buy in and go on dates with you. And I can already see all the Redditors commenting on this video. Step 1, be attractive, which is partially true, right? If you put no effort into your looks and how you present yourself, of course it's gonna be more difficult for you to find success with online dating and dating in general, right? If you're trying to sell your used car so you can level up and get a new car, you're gonna take it to the car wash before you post it on Facebook Marketplace. If it's got some scratches and dents, you'd be wise to clean those up a little bit so you can get more money for your car and more people are gonna hit you up interested about buying it from you. Well, dating is no different. If your selfies make you look like a Discord moderator with a neck beard and Cheeto dust all over his fingers, you're gonna have a very, very difficult time with online dating. And this is one of the most common mistakes I see guys making. They could be a lot more attractive than they are if they just put in a little bit of effort. One of the biggest misconceptions is that looks are completely out of our control as men. There's nothing we can do about it, like, hey bro, I was just born ugly or whatever, and there's nothing I can do to fix that. And it couldn't be farther from the truth. Take Gary, for example. Before Gary worked with me, he was walking around with this haircut that looked like his mom put a bowl on his head and just cut scissors around it, right? Obviously not the most optimal look. So when I coached Gary leading up to our photo shoot, I sent him to a proper barber for a good haircut, and you can see his looks instantly became 3 or 4 points more attractive. Another major aspect of just presenting yourself the right way before you go out and take photos for a dating app is fitness. I'm not here to fat shame anyone, but I can confidently say from my own experience, you guys can check out my old videos. Like, I used to have a lot of fluff in the face. I put on a lot of fat, and I wasn't really looking or feeling my best. But when I started to focus on my fitness and slim down a little bit, my results increased significantly. So if you are going out and taking photos for dating apps, you can definitely take some in your current state, but you'll probably find that you get the best results when you have a body fat percentage between 12 and 17%. So if you are carrying excess body fat, you're probably not gonna get top tier results on dating apps without putting in a little bit of work. That might sound a little bit harsh, but it's just the truth. So if you are in that position where you are carrying a lot of excess body fat, I definitely recommend getting your diet on point. Just avoid any processed foods, avoid drinking sugary drinks, and just focus on eating earth-grown nutrients and limiting your calorie intake. From there, you want to be going to the gym at least 4 times a week and pumping extremely heavy weight. One of the easiest ways to burn body fat isn't actually cardio, it's just lifting heavy ass weights and putting on a ton of muscle. When you build muscle, your body's gonna take the fat and convert it into muscle, and that's gonna be one of the quickest ways to lose excess body fat and look a lot leaner. If you do wanna expedite the process though, cardio is a great thing to add to your workout, but I wouldn't make it the primary focus. I'd make strength training the primary focus, and then just try to get around 10,000 steps a day. One of the easiest ways to get cardio in is at the gym, go on a treadmill, incline it all the way to 15, and then just walk for about 30 to 60 minutes per day. And look, I'm no fitness expert by any means, but that's what worked for me. That's what works for a lot of my clients. And at WingMan Plus, we actually do have a certified fitness coach who put an exact workout and diet routine in our online dating cheat code program. And a lot of guys are getting insane results from that as well. But the focus of this entire video isn't about a fitness plan. You can go on YouTube, you can check out the online dating cheat code and get more advice on that. Let's continue down the list of how to maximize and turn yourself into the best possible product for online dating. Skincare is gonna be huge for you, bro. If you don't have a skincare routine, I'd really break it down into the 3 essentials, okay? Cleansing, exfoliation, and moisturizing. The easiest way to lock this down is just get a bottle of face wash, throw it in your shower, and then every time you take a shower, make that part of your routine, just lathering up a nice face wash. Japanese beauty foam is probably my favorite one, but if that's hard to find for you, Neutrogena oil-free acne wash is a really good face wash as well. Now, there's 3 ways to exfoliate your skin. What this means is like removing the dead skin off of your face. It's gonna make your skin just look a lot more clear, especially if you stick to this over a longer period of time. The 3 ways to exfoliate are scrubbing, chemical exfoliation, and shaving is actually a great way to exfoliate too. If you're like me and you have a beard, shaving is kind of out of the picture for you, but I definitely would not recommend using like a scrub, like a face wash with beads. They actually find that's pretty damaging to your skin. Chemical exfoliation is actually the best way to exfoliate your skin. What I recommend you do is get a bottle of glycolic acid. You can buy this on Amazon, Sephora, pretty much any beauty store. It's gonna be like 15 or 20 bucks and last you forever. Just apply this to your face with a cotton pad every other night. Easy way to get exfoliation in your routine. And the last step being moisturizing. Anytime you exfoliate your skin, you also wanna moisturize it. What I recommend you do is get a bottle of 50 SPF moisturizer that's specifically for face, not using your body lotion on your face, okay? It's gonna give you some pimples, bro. This is gonna protect your face from getting damaged by the sun, and it's also gonna create really nice glowing skin. There is a never-ending list of beauty supplies that you could buy for skincare, but those are the first 3 steps I'd recommend if it's something that you're getting into and it's new to you. As I touched on earlier with Gary, like hair and beard are also super, super important. If you're able to grow a beard, I highly recommend that you do. And even if your beard comes in patchy, what I recommend you do is just let it go hobo mode for like 2 or 3 months. You might be surprised what a barber can do if you just let your beard grow out super long and then have a professional barber kind of sculpt it. They can make your beard actually look very, very full, even if you are someone who grows a patchy beard. Now, a general haircut that works for pretty much anyone is just having a haircut that is really, really short on the sides, like a zero fade or skin fade style cut on the sides, and then growing your hair longer on the top. Obviously, everyone's face and head shape is different, but this is a style that works for almost everyone. And if you are a bald or thinning king, let it go, bro. Shave that head. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna look way better with the cue ball look than with a balding head of hair. One of my clients, Michael, was struggling with a receding hairline. We actually advised his head, which he was very, very hesitant about, but his results speak for themselves. The guy is absolutely crushing it. He's never had more matches and more dates in his entire life. And he told me that letting his hair go was one of the best decisions he ever made. All right, to cap off looks maximization, turning yourself into the best product for the dating market is outfits, okay? You wanna create a wardrobe of essential classic outfits. I actually made a full video just on this topic. You can check it out right here on my channel. I highly recommend you put together a wardrobe of 6 to 10 layered outfits. All right, so now that you've turned yourself into the best product for the dating market, now you actually wanna market yourself, right? So in the sales process, you start with a product, then you actually put it out there to the world to generate leads. And when it comes to online dating, the best way to market and generate leads is to build a killer online dating profile. You need to build a dating profile that is impossible for women to reject. But to do that, you actually need to understand the female perspective. If you've ever gone through a woman's camera roll, you'll see 100 identical selfies, And 9 times out of 10, she didn't even post one of these selfies to Instagram or her dating profile. And that's because,
oh, in this one photo, my eyebrow looked kind of weird. Or in this photo, there was like a random person in the background.
women are insanely picky about their own photos. When they're in high school, they're going to the bathroom and taking selfies together. By the time that they're young women, they've mastered their lighting, camera angles, makeup. They really know how to make themselves look as attractive as possible in their photos. And because they're so picky about their own photos and notice every little detail, they're looking at our photos with that same perspective. Most guys, when we're swiping on a dating app, we're like, her body's kind of mid, but her face is super hot. Like, sure, I'll swipe right. We're looking for things that we like about women. But women are doing the opposite. They're not looking for like one little thing they like about you. They're looking for things they don't like. They're looking for common mistakes, red flags, and ultimately one reason to swipe left. One reason to reject you. This means that your dating profile is only as good as your worst photo. So when you take that female perspective and contrast it with the male perspective, what do most guys do on dating apps? We take the 5 to 6 least crappy photos in our camera roll, throw it up on a dating app, and expect women to swipe right. But when women see these profiles, they immediately swipe left on the first photo for 99% of guys. And that's not because these guys are ugly, right? 99% of guys are not below average looking. The fact is, most guys just have no idea how to take proper photos and market themselves the right way on these apps. So let's break it down. Putting in a little bit of effort is gonna make you stand out from 99% of guys. What's funny is when I do share my dating profile that's pulled literally 10,000 likes on dating apps, a lot of the guys in the comments say, this looks like you're putting in way too much effort, like you care about dating apps way too much. Women are gonna think this is corny. Well, bro, the results speak for themselves. The reason I and my clients get results like that and the guys leaving negative comments get nothing on these dating apps is because they don't understand that women actually appreciate effort. And that's because women put effort into their own photos, into the way that they present themselves. And they're looking at us with that perspective. So you need to tailor your profile to the female perspective, not the Reddit incel perspective. I've got an entire playlist on how to build a banger dating profile you can check out on my channel, but let me break down some of the key points here. What you really need to have is 6 photos that clearly show what you look like and show yourself at your best. Never repeat outfits in any of these photos, okay? Every photo should look like it was taken on a different day, in a different location, in a different outfit. But you also want to avoid these photos looking too different. Try to look like the same person in every photo. So that means if you used to have a super long hair and now you've got a buzz cut, you've got to pick one or the other, okay? Because you don't want women to play the guessing game of which version of you is showing up on the date. Your profile should start with a really, really strong portrait style photo that just clearly shows what your face looks like. If women have to guess what you look like when they see your first photo, they are not gonna skim through the rest of your profile. They're gonna instantly swipe left and move on to the next guy. Once you've established what you look like in your profile, you wanna start to build your brand on there by showing your lifestyle a little bit. Having good social proof, like photos with friends or you in social environments, is a really good way to show women that you're not a lone wolf or a guy with no friends. They find that to be a pretty big red flag, so having a little bit of social proof in your profile is really gonna help you stand out against every other guy. You also wanna show off your activities, right? So if you play a sport, maybe you do boxing, you should throw a photo of your activity in your profile as well to show women that you're not like all the other guys just taking selfies in their car or selfies in their basement or mirror selfies in the bathroom with urinals in the back. You actually go out and do shit in your spare time. When women see your profile, it should give off fun energy. When she sees your photos, she should think to herself, this guy looks like a pretty fun guy to be around. And if I swipe right, I could be a part of his life and be a part of all that fun too. So avoid taking your photos too seriously. Avoid looking too stoic in all of your photos. Don't be afraid to smile, show a little bit of personality without appearing goofy, like, playing Uno in a dinosaur costume or anything like that. Now, even if your photos are killer, one of the most common mistakes I see guys do is they have a giant paragraph bio that lists a million things about themselves. And I know if you Google like best Tinder bio for guys, like every blog is giving you these templates that are super cheesy. They're talking about pineapple on pizza, weird kinky sex fetishes, pros and cons lists. Like guys, This shit all worked back in 2016, but the game has changed. Instead of having a long bio that tells girls everything about yourself, you actually just want to have short, sweet, funny, cheeky lines in your bio and prompts. In my Hinge profile, I have 3 prompts. Feel free to steal these or get inspiration from them. So the first one is, biggest risk I've ever taken, sold everything I own to travel the world, right? That creates a lot of mystery. Girls are constantly matching me and asking me questions about that prompt because it creates a lot of curiosity. The second prompt I have, green flags I look for, emotional intelligence. Women absolutely love this, and they are looking for guys who have emotional intelligence. So by signaling to them that that's a green flag for me, it shows them that I inherently have that trait and I'm looking for someone else who has it. And the last prompt I have on my Hinge profile is, my simple pleasures, seeing people who were mean in high school join pyramid schemes. I'm getting about 5 likes a day just on that prompt alone. It's so lethal, it's short, it's sweet, and it gets her to laugh. So when she reaches the end of my profile and sees that I have a funny prompt that actually makes her laugh out loud, she's compelled to swipe right. So with that, once you've built a profile that's getting matches, your lead generation strategy is completed, and it's time to move into the next step of the sales pipeline, generating interest. Before you escalate into asking her out on a date, you have to be able to build her interest level. And that's where my online dating texting framework comes in. I call this the SIMP framework. And no, bro, I'm not telling you to be a simp on dating apps. It's actually an acronym for the ultimate 4-step process to converting your online dating matches into phone numbers and getting her off the dating app. We'll touch on what to do once you have her phone number later in this video. The SIMP framework stands for small talk, intentions, match her energy, phone number. My client Michael executed the SIMP framework perfectly in this chat, so let's break it down. He matched with this baddie on Hinge and she said hi. He said, hey, can I be honest? She says, yes, please. You're just my type. Oh yeah? So you can see this is very much small talk, right? He's not rushing in to try and set up a date with her. He's just chatting her up casually and creating a little bit of fun, playful banter to raise her interest level. A lot of guys make the misconception that if a girl matches with you, she wants to go on a date with you. That's not the fact. It's just an indicator of interest, but not intent. Just like in the sales process, you need to convert a lead into a high intent lead who's actually likely to escalate to the next part of the sales framework and allow you to close a deal. It's like if you're cold calling someone and the first thing you said was, hey, do you want to buy my product? They're gonna hang up on you, right? So you wanna create a little bit of small talk before you escalate in the sales framework. So he's doing a really good job with the small talk here. So she said, oh yeah? He said, yeah. Cute, Asian, a little nerdy. Is there a catch I need to know going in? Very, very playful line, and it's kind of qualifying her a little bit, right? Trying to get her to prove herself to him by asking if there's a catch. So I really like his banter here. She said, haha, just that I'll do anything to protect the people I care about. This is a really good text from her because she's trying to prove herself to him a little bit by showing some of her virtues and values to him. Rather than him trying to sell to her, he's actually getting her to sell to him, which is a very, very important nuance in the small talk phase. So he said, that's good to hear. You sound like the motherly type. Haha, I don't know if that's meant to be a compliment, but I'll take it as one. It's not a bad thing, no. The goal of the small talk phase is to just get her interest level high and ideally qualify her. Get herself to try and pitch herself to you and prove herself to you a little bit. And one of the best ways to do that is just by being playful, teasing her a little bit. So Michael did a really, really good job here. But we don't want to live in the small talk zone forever. That's why we want to escalate to the next phase of the SIMP framework, which is intentions. So Michael said, you're cute. What are you looking for on here? This is what I call an intention check. It's showing girls that you're intentional about dating, but it also gives you some great information on the types of dates that you can take her on, right? If she says she's looking for something casual, having a cheeky wine night or Netflix and chill might make sense. But if she's more the relationship type and you ask her to come Netflix and chill, you are gonna get ghosted, bro. A lot of guys skip the intention check, and it's one of the biggest mistakes I think you can make when it comes to texting early on, because you want to know the types of dates and the type of path that you should take to dating her. And you also want to make sure that you're actually on the same page with her and looking for the same thing. She said, good morning, sorry I fell asleep last night, thank you. I'm looking to find someone who I can have fun with and find a partner who is not just a partner, but a best friend too. What about you? So it sounds like she's looking for something a little bit more casual to start, but hoping that it leads to something long-term and a good connection. So once you have her intentions, you're ready to move on to the next step in the SIMP framework, which is M, match her energy. You want to make her feel understood, like you actually understand what her intentions are, and then match her energy, assuming you're on the same page, of course. If you're not on the same page, don't feel the need to match her energy. You can still tell her exactly what you're looking for and see if she's willing to fall into your frame. And if she's not, don't be afraid to walk away. The point of having a good profile is to give you a bunch of leads so you can actually date with intention and find women that are looking for the same thing as you, rather than misleading women from a place of scarcity. So he said, good afternoon. Sounds about right. I'm looking for people I vibe with for now, but ultimately want it to turn into something longer term. So he matches her energy perfectly. Kind of takes what she said, told her, yep, I feel that, and I'm looking for the same thing, without verbatim just repeating what she said to him. But he didn't double text. He left the ball in her court, which is really, really important, just to make sure that she matches his energy too. Make sure she has no objections or anything like that. And she said, sounds like we're on a similar page. Happy face. Now, once you've matched her energy, you don't want to resort back to small talk or trying to set up plans on the dating app. Women get like hundreds of matches per day on these apps. So if it's going well and you feel like it could lead to a date, avoid setting up the date on the app, because if she takes like 24 hours off the app, your chat is going to be buried by a bunch of new guys hitting her up. So instead, you want to take it off the app and set up the date over there, which is where step number 4 of the SIMP framework comes in, phone number. He said, sounds like it. Shoot me your number and let's see if we vibe. And just like that, number secured. All right, so the SIMP framework is a really good job of turning prospects into hot leads, okay? A prospect is just someone who's a little bit interested, and a hot lead is someone who's actually willing and able to buy, right? In this case, they're not buying anything from you, but you're escalating your prospects into dates. So the final step to actually getting her on a date once you got her phone number is to just set up the date over text. Now, a lot of guys try to speed run this. Once they get a girl's phone number on a dating app, they immediately text her, say, hey, it's Hunter. Are you free on Tuesday? I want to take you out to dinner. But this is a massive mistake, okay? She shows a lot of intent to go on a date with you, but before you actually set up and get super logistical, you want to pique her interest again. Similar to a sales process, before you try and close the sale, you want to bring out that emotion again and uncover the pain that you uncovered earlier in the sales conversation. So that's where my second texting framework comes into place. And I call this the slap framework. And it's easy to remember because if you follow this correctly, you're gonna be slapping more booties than you can handle, bro. Okay, it stands for small talk, logistics, anchor, plans. So let's break it down with a real example. So I texted this girl after I got her number on Tinder and said, hey cutie. She said, hey Hunter, how's it going? I said, I'm good, just crushing a leg workout. What are you up to? Wow, sounds like a productive Monday. It's my rest day today, so just having dinner and I'm gonna play a video game afterwards. So as you can see here, I didn't just rush into making plans, which is a really, really common mistake a lot of guys do. And that's because the point of a dating app is not to set up a date. It's just to build her interest level and get her contact info so you can escalate towards a date over text. But while you're texting her, you don't wanna just jump right into the close. You wanna butter her up a little bit, get some interest, get some rapport going before you try and seal the deal. So I start with a little bit of small talk and then slowly pivot into logistical questions that are disguised as small talk. I said, ooh, didn't realize I was talking to a gamer girl. You any good? So just playfully teasing her. One of the easiest ways to build her interest level is just being playful and teasing her a little bit. So we wanna reiterate that energy over text. She said, yeah, I love video games. Most of my games are single player, but I think I'm decent. Are you into any games at the moment? I said, I actually just sold my PS4 because I'm moving, so I'm a bit deprived of video games right now. I have a feeling I'd crush you at Mario Kart though. That is tragic. I'm sorry for your loss. On the upside, that makes for a good excuse to upgrade to a PS5 in the future. We'll have to see about the Mario Kart. I don't think I'd be terrible at it. I said, we'll see about that. My banana game is ruthless. So now that there's a bit of small talk out of the way, I want to move into more logistical questions to make sure how a date would actually make sense. There's only 2 reasons women bail on dates: low interest and bad logistics. If a girl's not interested, she's not going to go out with you. But even if she is interested, unless the logistics actually make sense, a date won't happen. So that's why after a bit of small talk, you need to nail down the logistics of how a date would actually work before you go into making plans with her. And that's why the SLAP framework is so effective, is because it seamlessly escalates every step up until a date happens. So I said, whereabouts in the city are you, by the way? She said, I'm sure you are in other ways aside from Mario Kart, winky face. So she's getting a little cheeky with me. And she said, I'm sorry, JK, but yeah, I'm in this area. What about you? I just know on Tinder you're 46 kilometers away from me. Please tell me you're moving someplace closer. So there we go, a little bit of an objection there. We do live far away. So now I need to make sure if a date makes more sense in my area or her area. If we meet somewhere in the middle, the likelihood of hooking up on a date is very, very low. But on the dating app, she said she was down for something more casual. So meeting in the middle probably wouldn't make sense. It just makes sense to go to either her place or my place. So let's get logistical on her. I said, I hope you're up for the challenge. And I said, I used to live in your area too, but I'm actually just staying in the suburbs leading up to my world travels. But I'm in your area once in a while. I was born ready for anything, so you better watch out. And ooh, I've never been to your area, but it looks nice. Oh my God, it's a 1.5-hour commute to get there. Do you have a car? Now you'll notice how there's still playful small talk weaved into the logistical conversation here, and that's intentional, okay? I don't want to just be super logistical and be a robot. I still want to tease her and keep the conversation fun and engaging while figuring out the logistical boring stuff to maximize both her interest and the logistics. So I said, damn, I love the confidence. And I live right beside the train station, so it's not that bad. I'm actually seeing some friends in the city after work tomorrow, but if you're up for it, maybe I can come by after with a bottle of wine and we can put your gaming skills to the test. So this is the next part of the framework here. I've gone over a bunch of small talk. I've figured out the logistics where it's just gonna make sense for me to come to her in the city. City girls do not wanna commute out to the suburbs for a date. So once you have the small talk and logistics figured out, you wanna move into the next step of the SLAP framework, which is anchor. And what an anchor is really the activity that the date is going to be anchored around. We give her an idea of what you're going to be doing on the date. She knows how to prepare, what to wear, how to do her makeup, and what kind of situation she's going to be going into. Because if you just tell girls, hey, meet me at this park at XYZ time, and she has no idea what the actual activity is going to be, she's going to be way more likely to bail on your date. So anchoring is very, very important. So me saying I'm down to come over with a bottle of wine is my anchor, right? It's telling her we're gonna have a little cheeky wine night at her place and hang out. She said, oh, that's good. I'd hate to transfer through a million trains and buses. She said, that sounds great. I do not own Mario Kart, so if you either want to bring yours or we could play something else. So she's anchoring on me too. She accepts my proposal for coming over with wine, and she one-ups my anchor by saying we could play video games too. You can see how I tactfully hinted at us playing video games in the small talk phase, which is one of the easiest ways to seed an anchor. If you talk about an activity early on in your small talk, it's easy to pivot into an anchor because she's already down to do the activity that you guys were bantering about. So I said, sounds good. I'll rummage through my games and see if it turns up. I'll probably be free around 7:30 if that works for you, but can keep you posted tomorrow so I'm not catching you out of the blue. Also, do you prefer red or white wine? Okay, thank you. If anything, I have Tekken 7, Catherine, and Lego Harry Potter as a backup. Also a ton of RPGs, but those are single player. Okay, great. I usually don't share my address right away, so is it okay if we meet somewhere in public and surprise me about the wine? So now that the anchor is secured, we're gonna be drinking wine and playing video games. The last step is to actually make a concrete plan, which is where and when we're gonna meet up. So I'll break that down now. I said, you had me at Lego Harry Potter, baby girl. And I know I give off major serial killer vibes, but if there's a landmark or intersection, that would be helpful for my planning. Basically saying like, around where are you so I can come to you? And she said, nothing personal. How about XYZ landmark? I said, yeah, sounds good. I'm gonna be in this area so I can give you a heads up before heading over. Cool, I'll see you tomorrow then. Also forgot to mention, I have a severe peanut allergy, so if you could avoid eating that tomorrow, I'd really appreciate it. Had to keep it playful and said, sounds good, babe. I'll avoid putting nuts in my mouth just for you. She says, fantastic, thanks, babe. The following day, I said, hey, I just grabbed wine. I'll head your way in about 15 or 20 minutes. She said, okay, sounds good, see you in a bit. And just like that, date secured. So now that you know how to build a good product, which is looks maximize yourself, market your product to get leads, which is build a profile that attracts women and gets you a ton of likes and matches, convert your prospects into hot leads by using the SIMP framework on dating apps, and converting your hot leads into dates, aka closing the deal. You have everything that you need to actually pull dates on dating apps and do what 99% of guys can't do. But there is a final step, and that's what to actually do on the date. And that's why I've created a free training video with the exact step-by-step process I use on every first date to close the deal. Because let's be honest, after putting in all this work and getting a first date, it sucks to go on bad dates, get ghosted, friend zoned, flaked on, and go all the way back to the beginning of this process. And you can avoid all that BS by accessing this free first date training I put together for you. All you have to do is go down to the link in the description of this video, leave me your email, and I'll send this free training to your inbox instantly. This free training is a little cheeky. It's something I couldn't put on YouTube because I don't want my channel to get taken down or anything like that, but it's gonna be insanely valuable for you and help you close the deal. Appreciate you watching the video, bro. Make sure you pound that like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.